Fortnite is a game that's become known for its collaborations over the years. And with the gaming season right around the corner, it's no secret that a lot of new gaming collabs are coming soon. So I took it upon myself to rank the 20 most wanted Fortnite gaming collabs. But I'm not just ranking them based on how much I like them. I'm going to change it up and rank them by how likely I think they are to be added to the game. In order to rank this correctly, I'm going to judge this based on the character's legal rights, how realistic it is for it to be added, how protected the IP is, and I'll compare it to similar collabs done in the past. That being said, let's get into it. First up, we have Minecraft. These two games have been rivaling for the top spot for the past 10 years at this point. That fact alone already puts them at low odds to begin with. While we have seen Minecraft collaborate with other games like Super Smash Bros., it's clear that Minecraft is looking for more of a kid-friendly IP to collaborate with. On top of that, both of these games have completely different art directions. Minecraft is a blocky game, while Fortnite's a more realistic sort of game. So unless they do it like the movie, I don't think this collab will work. That being said, for our first pick, I'll put Minecraft in unlikely. Okay, for the second pick, we have Roblox. This is a very unlikely collab, purely because of the fact that these games are almost direct competitors. On top of that, once again, they both have completely different art styles. I don't even know how a Roblox skin could translate into Fortnite. That being said, I'm going to put this into very unlikely. Next, we have the face of gaming himself, Super Mario. While both of these games do share a similar art style, the problem is that the owner of the IP, Nintendo, is very strict with licensing Mario. We actually know that back in 2021, there was supposed to be some sort of collaboration with Nintendo adding Samus to the game. However, this collab never came to light because Nintendo wanted their characters to be only on their platform. Basically meaning if you wanted to buy Samus, you'd have to buy a Nintendo Switch too. That being said, I'm going to put this into very unlikely. Next we have Pokemon. This is basically the same problem as Mario. The fact that Pokemon is a Nintendo owned IP basically makes it almost impossible to do any sort of collaborations, even if they are slightly owned by other companies. I'm going to put this into very unlikely, unfortunately. Okay, next we have Sonic. Both Sonic and Fortnite fans have been asking for this for years. Specifically in 2026, there have been a ridiculous amount of rumors that this collab is happening one day. Apparently there was supposed to be some sort of announcement during the 35-year anniversary of Sonic, but it got delayed for some reason. We know that Sega is very open to collaborations. We've seen a ton during the Sonic Cross Worlds campaign. That kind of gives me higher hopes that maybe something will happen in the near future. I feel like this will happen one day, but they're just waiting for the right moment. That being said, I'm going to put this into very likely. Alright, I just want to pause for a minute because this collab actually just got confirmed in the middle of me recording, so that was a little surprising. The next two I'm going to group together, that being Crash and Angry Birds. The reason is because these are both also owned by Sega. I think this gives them basically an equal chance as Sonic to be added. Crash I can definitely see as a Fortnite skin. Actually, I think I'm going to put Angry Birds slightly lower only because they don't have legs. I could maybe see them as sidekicks, but otherwise probably not skins. Hopefully not mechs. Next we have Kingdom Hearts. This is actually a Disney IP. And if you don't know, Disney is actually a part of Fortnite now. And there's actually supposed to be a big Disney collab happening either later this year or early next year. The fact that Kingdom Hearts is like their biggest gaming franchise kind of makes me think that this is inevitable. That being said, I'm going to put it into very likely. Next is Dead by Daylight. I could definitely see this happening very soon. Basically, the whole motto of this game is collaborating with other game and movie franchises, so it's not super unrealistic. I can definitely see some of their original characters as skins, like Trapper and Huntress. This feels like something that might happen during like a Fortnitemares event, so I feel like if it were to happen, it was going to happen around then. That being said, I think this is another very likely collab. Next, we have Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like of all the collabs, this has to be the most requested one. I mean, the core 4 animatronics instantly feels like that could be a Fortnite squad, like a set of skins, like in a bundle or something. However, if you've been following any news related to this collab potentially happening, you would know that this is kind of unlikely. The owner and creator of Five Nights at Freddy's basically said he didn't want to add Five Nights at Freddy's characters where it doesn't make sense. And Fortnite is a shooter game, so I don't know if he would want to do a collab like this. We have seen similar collabs like Poppy Playtime and Repo last year, so maybe they're trying to do something with Five Nights at Freddy's. I wouldn't be surprised if they reached out to Scott trying to get this and he rejected it. I feel like maybe one day Scott will see the overwhelming amount of requests for this collab and eventually just decide that he'll do it. But until that day, I'm gonna say this is possible. Next, we have Call of Duty. If you know the history of Epic Games and Activision, these are basically super direct competitors. Call of Duty and Fortnite have been at it since the dawn of time. They both have been competing in the same genre. The tension between these two companies makes this collab highly unlikely, but not necessarily impossible. I feel like there's a few skins that could be added, like the Ghost skin or, you know, something like that. This collab is fun to imagine, but it's unlikely. Okay, next we have Valorant. This is another case where Epic and Riot Games don't really get along with each other. Characters like Jett or Phoenix can make great skins, but the problem is ultimately Riot. The thing is, Riot doesn't really do collabs that often. They did do a League of Legends collaboration back in 2021, but besides that, they haven't done really anything, so I'm gonna say unlikely. Okay, next we have Portal. I think this is very realistic gameplay wise. The Portal gun would be really cool to see inside of Fortnite. I also think Gyarados would be like a cool boss fight or like an NPC or something, but the problem is that the company that owns Portal, Valve, doesn't do a ton of collabs. And if you don't know, Valve is actually owned by Steam, and Steam and Epic are almost direct competitors with each other. I won't write this collab out for that reason alone, because Fortnite has pulled off collabs with harder companies and IPs, but it does lower the odds significantly. For the next two, we have Team Fortress 2 and Gary's Mod, which are unfortunately in the same boat. They're both made by Valve and have almost no shot of making it. I think Scout, Pyro, and Heavy would make such cool skins though. Same with iconic items like the Gravity and the Tool Gun from Gmod, or like the RPG from Team Fortress 2. I'm gonna put these with Portal in unlikely. Next we have Arc Raiders. I think this collab depends on how popular this game becomes. Right now it doesn't really have a huge mainstream demand, but recently Fortnite has taken a lot of inspiration from extraction shooters just like this game. I won't say it won't happen, but I also won't say it will, so I'll say unlikely. Next we have Mecha Chameleon. This game has exploded in popularity recently, and we've also seen a lot of indie collabs in Fortnite recently. On top of this, the team that made this game actually once made Fortnite creative maps. For that reason, I feel like they would be open to a collab, so I'll say it's possible. Next we have the biggest gaming franchise, Grand Theft Auto. Michael, Franklin, CJ, and Nico would all make great skins in the game. Maybe even Lucia and Jason if they're doing GTA 6. But the biggest issue is Rockstar Games. We've actually never seen a Rockstar and Fortnite collab before, so there's no telling if they have good chemistry. On top of that, the maturity level of Grand Theft Auto is a little bit higher than Fortnite, so I can't really say that they would want to do a collab like this. But overall, if we don't see this collab this November with the launch of GTA 6, it's safe to say we will never see this collab in Fortnite. Next we have Red Dead Redemption 2, which is probably in the same boat as GTA, only because they're both owned by Rockstar, but for that reason I'm going to put it with GTA, impossible. Finally, I have Final Fantasy. Get it? Final Fantasy? No? Anyways, this franchise has a lot of characters that I can imagine in Fortnite. On top of that, we've seen them collaborate with Super Smash Bros. And Kingdom Hearts before, so at least we know they're open to collaborations. That being said, for our final pick, I'm going to say it has a likely chance of being in Fortnite. Only because it's a little bit kid friendly and perhaps Fortnite is too violent of a game for Kingdom Hearts. That being said, this is all 20 games. So the four I think that are happening the most are Sonic, Crash, Kingdom Hearts, and Dead by Daylight. I know I'm missing a lot of games from this list. I just chose the 20 that I thought were the most interesting to talk about. So let me know what game you think I'm missing. Would you change anything about my list? Do you think anything is more likely or less likely that I have on my list? Maybe I'll do a part 2 with like an updated list. Or should I rank something else like movie or TV show franchises by how likely they are to be in Fortnite? And of course, I'm not an expert. I'm just going off of public information and how likely I think it is to be in Fortnite. That being said, this took a lot of time to put together, so consider liking and subscribing. This is the first video I'm doing like this, so I hope you like it. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm out.